I have seen repeated scenarios of this particular lesson being played out. I learned this the hard way. I'm going to share a little story with you guys. Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today is my birthday. Yes, it is a good day for me to come back from my YouTube sabbatical. Please bear with me if I sound or look a bit off today. I have been under the weather for over a week now. I'm still recovering. I turned 35 years old today. I really just wanted to share with you guys some major things that I have learned in my 35 years of life. These are things that have kept me grounded, happy. So I wanted to make like 35 things I have learned in my 35 years of life, but the list will be too long, and I don't just want to come and list those things. I want to share a bit more light on what I will be talking about. I'm sharing with you with the hope that you can find some sort of encouragement or motivation from them as well, or maybe you can just relate with me on the things that I'll be sharing. So without further ado, let me start with this one. I have grown to understand the importance of faith and keeping my faith in God alive. Faith in Christ is something that I hold on to dearly. Whether the going is good or whether there is a storm, my faith in God is the only thing that has kept me going through it all, because God's plans for me are plans of good and not of evil, plans to prosper me and not to harm me, plans to give me hope and a future. He says I should trust in Him, so I have grown and learned to trust in God, and He has never failed me. When I say God has never failed me, He has never failed me. All I need to do is to have a plan, stay focused, talk to God that this is what I plan to do, and if it is His will for me, He is going to make it happen for me, and I will not stress for it to happen for me. For my Christian girlies in the house, if you have ever doubted God, do not doubt God. Keep your faith in Him alive. Do what is humanly possible, because He gave you a brain for a reason, right? Use it to do what is humanly possible and leave the rest to God, and you will see Him come through for you in your life in ways that you least expected. Another thing I've grown to learn to do is to not rob myself of the opportunity to have a good time. As the saying goes, problem no dey finish. There will always be trying times, there will always be difficult moments, there will always be challenges in life. So you have to be intentional about your happiness, you have to be intentional about fun, you have to be intentional about things that brings out the best in you. Fun means different things to different people. To me, I absolutely enjoy my solitude. So I consider things like beauty maintenance, even though I don't do much of it, but the basics that I do. Things like doing my hair, doing my nails, going for a facial, going for a massage, or just soaking myself in the bathtub and rest as well. These are things that I consider fun. So I try as much as possible to make time for those things, because when I look good and I am well rested, I feel fantastic. If you've been watching my vlogs consistently, you would have seen me go out to parties, hang out with other people, and usually it looks like fun, and that is because I am intentional about the people that I hang out with. But partying in general does not even come close to the things that I consider fun. The worst is when I am the one who is actually planning for that party. I will not enjoy it, but it is a sacrifice that I am happy to make every time for the people that I love. I call it a sacrifice because when the event is over, I always need a lot of time to rest and regain my energy. And anything that takes that much energy from me, I consider it a sacrifice. The people who know me, they know that I will not even bother planning for my own birthday. I'll prefer to just chill, maybe share a meal with my household and just enjoy the text messages and phone calls that would come from the people who are wishing me well on my birthday. Like this, my birthday, I have zero plans. It's my 35th birthday. It is considered a milestone birthday, but the most I am going to do is to get a cake for myself and just cut it to mark my 35th birthday. I might just put up some balloons in the house because that is something that I know how to do and I love to do it. I might just do that for myself, just wear a nice outfit and take some pictures. Besides that, I have no plans. Maybe my husband is up to something, I don't know, because for the past years he's been up to one or two. How did I even get here? I was saying that partying is something that I would do for the people that I love, but I can't be bothered when it is my own party. I'd rather just chill. If anybody can be bothered to do it for me, fine, I'll enjoy it and I'll appreciate it. But when it comes to me planning for my own party, that's like the least things that I can worry about. Every now and then I would socialize and I would participate in events when I'm being invited, because humans are social beings, right? And normally I am not an island. But trust me, I am most likely not to feel like I am missing out on anything if I was not invited to an event, unless I have a personal relationship with you, and you not inviting me to your thing could mean something. Something that I have always wanted to do is to go on a solo trip, just me by myself for like a weekend, and just sleep, eat, relax, maybe go shopping and come back. That is something that I have always wanted to do. This does not mean that I don't love to go on holidays with my husband or my kids or my family. I need to make that work sometime soon, because if I let life go, the next thing that will fill it up will be work. The job is always there to take up your time if you don't create time to do the things that you consider fun. And before you know it, you are old, you are stressed, you are depressed, especially in this abroad. It is quite difficult, honestly, to make out time to have fun, especially when you have young children. So this is something that I need to be very intentional about and create time. Even if it means scheduling time to do those things, I need to do those things more and more. That is not too much to ask for, is it? I don't think it is. Another thing I have learned over the years to do is to make sure that I show the people that I care about how much I love them, especially those people who don't live around me, like they don't live in the same town or country as me. Nowadays, it is easy for you to make somebody feel your love without necessarily seeing them face to face. With the internet and with a smartphone, it is easy. You can just send them a cute text, you can reply to their status with a cute emoji, you can share memes with them, you can send them a surprise present, you can even tag them in comment section on some posts that you see and you know that they can relate to. These are some of the things that when people do for me, I really feel like, okay, this person is actually thinking about me. It does put a smile on my face as well when somebody does it to me. So I try as much as possible to do those things as well for the people that I love and care about. The last thing I want is to lose someone before I start wishing that I had done more in order to spice up their lives. What are the ways that you stay connected with your people? How do you maintain your relationship with the people that you value when they are not in the same house with you? How do you spice up your relationship? Because I want to get better at this. I don't want my people, the people who have been my people from day one, who have been trying to be intentional about me. I don't want to lose people to distance, you understand? Over the years, I have learned to have some very uncomfortable conversations and address the elephant in the room instead of sweeping things under the carpet and acting like there is no problem. I don't know about you, but if there's a misunderstanding or if something happens between me and somebody and we never talk about it, there is no way that relationship will ever be the same. To me, if I value somebody and they do something that does not sit well with me, or if they crossed a boundary, I will bring it up. And it is something that I really wish that people did more of, because there are people that we used to be so close before and today we are not close. Maybe because I offended them in one way or the other. It is sad that sometimes they prefer to talk about this issue with somebody else instead of actually talking about it with you, who is the person who is directly concerned. Sometimes we might think that people always know it when they offend us. Sometimes they don't know. Sometimes where their mind was at that time could be the reason why they acted in such a way without actually thinking much about how their action will affect you. I think that if we cultivate the culture of having such uncomfortable conversations more and more, there will be less relationship fallout. But because maybe one person is too proud to bring up that conversation, or one person is feeling so justified in their actions that they don't want to hear anything else, I believe that it is always very important to listen to the next person or initiate a conversation with somebody. And if they value your relationship, no matter how offended they are, they'll probably listen to you. And if it requires you offering them an apology, then go ahead and do so. If they are the ones who need to give you an apology, I really hope and wish that they can also give you an apology, and then you people will move on. And I believe that when conversations like that happen, the bond gets stronger. But if things like that don't happen, the trust is broken, there's a lot of reservations when it comes to somebody that you really used to vibe with and flow with. Relationships are important, and I just wish that we could value them more and be more intentional about making them work instead of just cutting people off for just any and everything. I know that there's this slogan that no grief for anybody, but please, before you decide not to grieve for anybody, do your possible best so that when you decide to block people out of your life, your conscience will be clear that you actually did your best as far as that relationship is concerned, and you will sleep well at night and have peace. I have learned to never stop learning, growing and evolving. Personal development, that is one aspect of this channel that I take very seriously. You're never too old to learn. I have taken it upon myself to continue to learn, to grow and to evolve, because that is the only way that I can become a better version of myself that I can possibly become. Another thing that I have grown to learn is that, in fact, this is a lesson I learned in my late 20s, and it has stuck with me over the years because I have seen repeated scenarios of this particular lesson being played out. Another woman's husband is not your bestie, and vice versa. Another man's wife is not your bestie. It does not matter what relationship you had with these your friends before they got married. When they get married, you need to limit the way you involve yourself with them, especially if they got married to somebody that you don't know, you did not know from Adam. I learned this the hard way. I'm going to share a little story with you guys. So there's this friend of mine, a guy that I used to have in my university days. He was not only my friend, he was a friend of ours, like me and my girlfriend's friend. So just a few months after we left school, this guy was hospitalized. We went to greet him in the hospital. Me and my other friend, who is a girl, we went to greet our guy friend in the hospital. We went there and we met his fiance. That was the first time ever that we were meeting his fiance. He introduced us to her as his school friends and introduced her to us as his fiance. We greeted her pleasantly, but she did not look quite happy to see us. You know, when people come to greet your partner in the hospital, the least you can do is at least welcome them warmly, especially people that you are meeting for the first time. She was not warm, and being who I am very sensitive to certain behaviors. I know how to read the room and understand when something is not right. I eventually got to understand that this girl had complained to her man that she does not like the fact that we are friends, but this guy never told us. He was more of a friend to me than my other girlfriend. So I maintained a relationship with this my friend, not knowing that his wife did not like me that much. She was not warm towards me the first time I met her, but I didn't know the extent to which she did not like me until one day I was in town in front of a bank, and I met this my friend, this my guy friend, in front of that bank. We just stood in front of the bank and we were chatting, and I saw his wife coming. I was like, "Oh, your wife." You know when somebody's coming towards you and you are preparing yourself to greet them. But as soon as this girl approached us, she said to him that, "I thought you promised me that you were never going to talk to this girl." I'm like, huh? What's going on here? When did this? Why did you not tell me about this? She said, "No, no, no, don't worry, don't worry." She almost tried to create a scene there because apparently they had had a fight about the guy communicating with me. And mind you, I was never talking about anything personal with the guy. We were just school friends that we just left school fresh from school, and he was really my friend. That kind of friend that when you have a birthday party, you would invite them to your intimate birthday party. You know, your circle of friends. That's the kind of friend that he was. He would come to my house for my birthday whenever we're having any celebration at home, and also when he has his own birthday, he would invite me. That's the kind of friendship that we had. But for some reason the girl did not like me. So when that happened, I had to tell my friend that I'm really disappointed that your woman did not like me, and you could have at least made me understand. I know that he probably did not want me to feel bad or make me feel like he cannot handle his fiance. I don't know why he decided not to tell me, but I got really offended that I had to be approached like that by her. I don't know what was going on in her head, because there was absolutely no reason for her to think that there was more than a friendship going on with me and her man. If I did not leave that place with the way this girl was coming at me, people would have thought that I snatched her man or something like that. And she actually knows that I had a relationship. So I don't know what she was thinking. Anyway, I told him that I am really upset. I had to just limit the way I communicated with the guy. When he would text me, I would ignore him. I ignored him until he stopped texting that much. I had to unfriend him on Facebook just for peace to reign. That taught me a very big lesson, that no matter how close you two were before that person got engaged or married to somebody, you have to limit the way you communicate with them, especially when their spouse has shown you one or two signs that they are not really a fan of that friendship. Let them be. All those names, those friendly names that you used to call each other, or all those jokes that you used to make with each other, those things that you meet somebody in public and maybe pull their ear or tap their back and call them stupid funny names that you people used to play about. You need to respect yourself, respect his or her partner. Most guys will not tell you that their women don't like you, and most women will not tell you that their men don't like you. But if this has not happened to you yet, it might happen at some point. So just respect yourself. When you meet them in public, greet them respectfully and move on with your life. Focus on your own family. Leave them alone. They are not your enemy, but they are not your personal person. There are a lot of women who are insecure about one thing or the other, and you may not necessarily be the problem. They may know very well that there's absolutely nothing going on between you and their man, but just the fact that you are a fine person, you are smart, and you have a lot going on for you, that can automatically be a reason for them to be insecure about you being around their man. Same with the guys. If their women are friends with a man who is doing well for himself, or maybe he's just this fit guy and they are not as fit as that your friend, that might be reason enough for them to be insecure about their woman being friends with that guy. Don't be a reason why people are fighting in their household. You may not know this, but take it from me that you need to limit the way you keep up with your relationship with your friends who are newly married, except that the person that they got married to is going out of their way to make you feel that they are happy with the relationship, more like having you as their friend. Like you as the woman is friends with your friend and their new partner who is a woman. If their new partner is not going out of their way to make you feel comfortable being friends with their partner, please leave them alone. Because if it doesn't happen now, eventually you will find that there's something going on in their house, and the reason for that is you. Even if you are innocent, don't try to claim that I knew him when he still had catarrh on his nose. I knew him when he was still walking barefoot in the quarter. I knew her when she could barely have a good shower, and all of that. Please, when people are married, try to limit your communication with them and let them bond with their new partners. That is all I am saying, and you don't have to take it from me. I'm just one girl on the internet who is sharing her experience with you. You can take it from me, or you can continue being besties with your married friends, and eventually you might understand. But trust me, you don't want to learn from experience, because the experience might not be a pleasant one for you. Another thing I have grown to learn is stress management techniques that work for me. It can be very stressful having to do the same thing over and over and over, especially in this country where having domestic staff is not something that is common. You have to basically do everything on your own. I only do what I can do. What I cannot do, I cannot do. I leave it and do it when I can do it. Even as far as my job is concerned, I do my best and only my best. I cannot do more than what I can do. If I feel mentally exhausted, I can take 1 or 2 days off work to just rest my brain. If I don't feel like cooking, we order food. That does not happen often, but anything at all to manage my stress. And I've also learned to manage my expectations. Honestly, nothing surprises me these days. Sometimes we expect a lot from people, and when they don't live up to our expectations, it has a way that it plays on our mental health. If somebody is expecting something from me and I am unable to do it, say for example, you're expecting me to show up at an event or come for a party or do something for you. If I cannot do it, I'll tell you, I'm sorry, I won't be able to do this. I will not say yes to a situation just because I want to please somebody and then I am dying inside. Anything to reduce my stress, that is what I am doing. Anything that will add my stress, I avoid it. What some people find stressful may not be stressful to other people. So I've learned to find stress management skills that work for me. Because if you don't find ways to manage stress, you will constantly be overwhelmed by so many things. Most times, some of those things are very avoidable, but just because you want to show up for people, you want to prove to people that you can be this person for them and forget your own self. Sometimes you are mentally not ready to hang out with people, but there's this particular thing going on. They're inviting you for this party. This birthday party is going on somewhere. Just because you don't want to disappoint somebody, you leave work, you're tired, your body is telling you to rest, but you carry yourself to attend that event. I know that sometimes we need to make sacrifices, but you need to listen to your body as well. If your body is telling you to rest, rest. If your mind is telling you to rest, rest. It is no news that people have slept and they didn't wake up. And sometimes it's just because we're trying to be there for everybody and we forget to be there for our own selves. Learn to prioritize self-care and manage stress in ways that work best for you. Do not ignore the signs. These are the things that I have learned to do over the years so that I can stay alive for the people who actually really need me. Another thing I have grown to learn is that no matter how much you show some people that you are for them, they might still not reciprocate, and that is okay. In this life, I have learned that people love who they love, and sometimes it is not how much you show them that you love them that will make them love you. I know it can be heartbreaking when you have gone out of your way to show somebody that you are for them, you love them, you value them, and you show up for them when need be. But when the tables turn, they don't do the same for you. It can be very heartbreaking. But I have grown to learn to come to terms with the fact that you can do all of this for somebody and they don't reciprocate, and that is okay. It is left for you to protect your mental health and tell yourself that it is okay to love people and still leave them. There are so many people that I hold dear to my heart, but I have stopped showing them that I value them. I have grown over the years to choose me. No matter how much I love you, if I've shown you over and over that I am here for you, but I have noticed that you just don't care, you don't even care that I am here for you. Loving people from a distance is a thing, and it is something that I have been very intentional about. So I've been practicing serious emotional detachment from some of the people that I have made an extra effort over the years to maintain a relationship with, and they did not reciprocate, and this has gone on and on for years. Even some relatives, I don't make any extra effort and I don't feel any guilt about it, because I know that I have shown up for them when I needed to several times and it is not been reciprocated, and I have felt hurt so many times in so many ways by their actions or inactions. So I got to that point where I needed to teach myself that, you know what, you cannot continue to pour from an empty cup. There is something about loving people from a distance, and I have been intentionally telling myself to do that with a lot of people. And that is what I'll continue to do, because what? Me first, my mental health first. And I don't feel any guilt about it, as long as I know that I did my best when the opportunity presented itself for me to show these people that I value them, and I did that. I detach myself emotionally. If you find yourself unsure, confused about how somebody feels about you, trust me, they don't really care, because if they care, you would know. Another thing I've learned to do is to stop stressing over perfection. This particular thing has hindered me from doing so many things, because I can be a little misperfect, even though at the end of the day, I still end up doing the thing imperfectly. We are human beings and we are imperfect. I have learned to come to terms with the fact that I cannot always be perfect, and stressing over perfection will always hinder me from trying new things. If I don't try, I will not know whether I am good at that thing or not. Sometimes just thinking too much about it and not seeing the possibility of me doing it in the best way possible, I already feel defeated and I end up not even trying it at all. And when you don't try something, you don't even know how good you could be at that thing. So I've learned to make mistakes. If I'm interested in something, I'll try it. If I don't succeed at it, I'll learn the lessons and I'll move on and apply the lessons in other aspects of life. This video has become longer than I intended for it to be, and it's almost time to go pick up the kids from school. So I'll just make it snappy through the rest of the points that are left. Another thing I've learned is that it is very okay to change my mind, especially when I have had access to new information. Change is the only thing that is constant. Another lesson, major lesson that I have learned in life is that I'm all about protecting my mental health. And a lot of things that goes on in our lives has a lot to do with our relationship with other people. So I have grown to learn and understand and come to terms with the fact that the reality of my relationship with other people is more about how they make me feel than how I feel about them. How I feel about them is very valid, but the way they make me feel in that relationship with them whether it's a relative, whether it's a spouse. If I'm not comfortable with the way they constantly make me feel, then that relationship is not for me. The way you feel about somebody is how you treat them, and when you treat them kindly, they will feel it. How they treat you is how they feel about you. If they are not intentional about making you feel loved and valued, you are going to feel it. So pay attention to how people make you feel. I have grown to learn to be comfortable in my own skin. Over the years, I have been making a conscious effort to understand who I am at the core and be comfortable in my own skin, to share my thoughts, to share my opinion, to let people know where I stand about certain topics without fear of being judged or anything like that. The way I think now may not be exactly how I thought 3-5 years ago. Where I am now may not be where I will be in the next few years to come, and that is okay. I try to do this assessment year in, year out to understand where my mindset is at each point in time, and accept it, and also embrace change and be open-minded. Another thing I've grown to learn over the years is that most people don't actually think about you half as much as you think they are thinking about you. Everybody is thinking about themselves. They can think about you every now and then, but as adults, we are all busy with our individual lives. There's a whole lot more to share on the things that I have learned in my 35 years of life, but these are the things that stand out the most for me as far as my day-to-day life is concerned, and I just thought to come and unpack it with you guys. I hope you totally enjoyed watching. If you did, I really appreciate it if you give the video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comment section. Once more, happy 35th birthday to me, and if you're celebrating your birthday today as well, happy birthday to you. And if you are celebrating your birthday this month, May, happy birthday to you in advance, or happy birthday to you in arrears if your birthday had already passed by the time you're watching this video. And remember to take time to always take care of yourself, because you are the priority. You need to be at your best to be able to give your best to the people who are looking up to you in one way or the other. Thank you so much for watching. Until I come your way next time, stay blessed, stay safe, continue to drink a lot of water, and mind the business that pays you. I will see you in my next video. Bye.